Let's spend a minute on media, because
Yeah.
you really have been everywhere. You know everyone in media. I got into media in 2003. That was when I started working part-time at the ABC affiliate in Washington, D.C., and I joined Fox News in August of 2004. So it's been about 20 plus years.
You're a baby.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. Just in my time, I've seen such a dramatic change. Just when I joined, it was nowhere near as biased and openly craven, at least in my experience, or that's how I saw it or didn't, versus today. So what the hell happened?
Well, in my experience, it's been biased the whole time. Certainly when my career
As
started.
badly as it is now?
Well, no, because Donald Trump supercharged it. But the bias has always existed, in my experience, in working at big places, just to a shocking degree. And people say, oh, do they have a conspiracy? It's not. It's groupthink so intense that they don't need to have a meeting about it. There's secret handshakes, but no meetings. Donald Trump it's an incredible story how Trump derangement syndrome affected the press, where they stopped being guardians of facts at all, and they just became openly committed to stopping them. And previously, democracy died in darkness. Now, apparently, it dies in demolition. They're so upset. They're so upset about changing the White House grounds to build a building that every president of both parties will tell you needs to be built.
Yes,
they're being honest.
That's the dirty little secret.
Yeah.
Is that was reported someplace today where they were saying former staffers of Obama and George W. Bush are privately admitting we did need the ballroom.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing to have to set up tents when foreign dignitaries come.
The tents are bad enough. Literally, state dinners, they're using porta potties.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, we're not necessarily the greatest country in the world, but I think we're great enough to have heads of state use regular bathrooms.
Yeah, we can move beyond Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't think it was Trump. I've said before, I think that the media committed suicide and Trump was their Kevorkian. He gave him the machine. He was like, here it is. You can press the button and the cyanide goes and you'll be done. And they were like, sure, let's do it. Great.
Family-friendly metaphor.
Yeah. But prior to that, they were already losing their minds. And I mean, I worked at Fox News for 14 years. I definitely think they had a role in it, because when Fox came on and Roger accurately deduced that there was media bias and it was all leftist, he said, we're going to be the antidote to that, which was smart, and the country needed it, and it was such a huge success. But rather than correcting, rather than CNN and MSNBC and all the others looking at Fox and saying, oh, God, he has a point. We should really get back to basics and try to call out the left-wing bias. They doubled and tripled down on it. So I do think it started happening in earnest on the left before Trump got there.
Well, there's no doubt that the success of Rush and then of Fox discombobulated them from a business model point of view, but also from an editorial point of view. I think you referenced this before. The biggest story in the United States and in Europe, I think also, is the opening up of the exposure of the fraudulence of the liberal cultural dominance in academia, corporate world, in Hollywood, in news. People can, and education, people can now discuss it openly in a way that's never happened in our lifetimes, at least. And I think the arc of how we got to that point, partly it's what you said, but I don't have any doubt that Trump's capacity to make them bonkers has led them to cash in any semblance of a focus on fairness. And the greatest example is the attempt to pretend that Joe Biden had cognitive decline. It's the biggest media scandal in American history, and it's a product not of love of Joe Biden, it's a product of an all-out attempt to keep Donald Trump from winning.
Hatred of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
The TDS is a real affliction, and once you have the TDS, it's very hard to get out from under the TDS. So how does that affect the media when they don't have Trump to kick around any longer?
Well, your example inspires people in independent media because of not only your great success financially as a business model, but fearlessness to call things out. They see that. That's why CBS hired Barry, our friend Barry. That's why the Washington Post is quietly trying to reform itself. I think that anybody who tells you they know what politics or media will be like post-Trump, don't believe them, because none of us can really know for sure. But what we do know is they now see the the things you're doing as some things they have to try to adopt. Fearlessness, honesty, and a business model that actually sustains. And we'll see if they can do it post-Trump, but they're so discombobulated. We'll see if JD carries on and makes them as discombobulated. There's something magical about Donald Trump. When Hillary Clinton has said, when Bill Clinton dies, they should study his brain. And I say when Donald Trump politically is done, we should study the brains of all these people with TDS and try to figure out what's happened inside there. And that'll give us some indication of whether this is going to continue or not.
It's like CTE. Like once you have it,
you
don't get rid of it. Then they really should be. They should be studied. My prediction is we won't even know that Trump is gone. The next person, whether it's JD or Marco, whomever, will be treated as even worse than Trump. We missed the days of Donald Trump. Little did we know there was another Hitler in the wings, and now his name is JD, and he even looks like the devil. That's what we're going to get.
I spent the early parts of my career as a political reporter, and for the last 10 years, I've basically been a therapist for all these people.
Due to overwhelming demand for free silver from Birch Gold Group, they have extended the current promotion through Veterans Day on November 11th. Here's the deal. Buy gold and get free silver, which happens to be surging in price. For every $5,000 purchased from Birch Gold by Veterans Day, Birch Gold will send you a free 1-ounce patriotic silver round that commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. Gold is up over 60% since the beginning of this year, and Birch Gold can help you own it by converting an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Plus, they will send you free silver honoring our veterans. And if you are current or former military, Birch Gold is waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. Text MK to the number 989898 right now for a free info kit and to claim your eligibility for free silver with purchase before November 11th. Again, text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.